Good morning, everybody, and wherever you are in the world, happy Easter. I know this is a big time. A lot of people could be in services and all sorts of things. But if you are joining me now live, please type in where you're joining me from. And I thought I would mix it up today. But as things happen in upstate New York, the weather changes. I was all prepared. It was so beautiful. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to need my sunglasses. And then it ends up that the clouds come over and you're here with me in the gray spring after a evening of rain. And I decided to show you all the daffodils I planted last year all out. And that's kind of what this season is all about, hope. And that's kind of what you bring. And you know that all through the pandemic, I had made so many recordings about keeping you hopeful, because hopeful people are who comes into a brick and mortar store at 10 in the morning. If you're depressed, you're in a bar at 10 in the morning. So I thought I'd share that. Hey, I'm glad you're here, Daniel. Glad you're here, Charles. The rest of you, don't be shy. Type in where you're joining me from. That's always interesting. And before I get too far, I need to do a special shout out to David Eiler. And he posted a review of me this week, and it said, if you want to learn more about yourself, sign up. You may not like it, but you won't regret it. So, David, awesome. I love that. So, today, I thought I would talk a little bit about hope. It's a little cooler than I expected, too. So we may make this a little shorter than I originally thought. But I thought it was interesting in the Wall Street Journal today, the story, the pandemic was supposed to push all shopping online, and it didn't. And it talked about how so many people had said, oh, online is the way to be, and it's the wave of the future. And turns out that there might actually be limits. And this was one of the graphics they showed, and how Dick's Sporting Goods reported an 11% drop in March in online sales, but it was up 14% in stores. And a lot of people are seeing the same thing. And so, you know that my big thing is I do talk about brick and mortar, but let's not bury our head in the sand. Anyone who watches me and knows it is about being available wherever the customer wants, however they want, and whatever you can do to make that sale is what it's about. So for me, 90% of that is forgotten in a brick and mortar store, and we pretty much get the hi. Let me know if you need anything. I'm going to be over here doing anything else but talking to you. And that's where the sweet spot is, which is why I work with thousands of retailers around the world in helping them sell more. And so I will talk a little bit about that today. But what hope do you bring to your customers? Because a lot of times we approach a customer with dollar signs in our eyes, right? Like, oh, I just need to make this sale. Oh, I need to be able to. And people can feel that. And more importantly, a lot of times I think you end up getting a sale, but you don't get the relationship. And that's really what I work on, is how do we take whatever it is that you sell in your store from being a transaction and making it into a relationship. That's the key to all of it. And that's what I try to do with my own clients. That's what I hope people do with me when I'm working with them. And the same for you. So I will take any questions you have today. If you put them in comments, and even if you're watching this on the replay later when maybe the sun is out, I will answer those as well. Hey, good morning, Car Gift from Portugal. I'm glad you're there today. David, good morning. Charlotte, thank you. I'm glad you noticed the daffs. I love daffodils. They're just well, one, the deer don't eat them. That's like the number one thing that's most important. And if you come to a long winter like we did, and you see that little bit of green, and then you see that happy yellow, it's like, life's great. So if you like what I have to say, give me some thumbs up, give me some love, because as you know, the algorithms only show this to people who actually are engaged. Bakar is asking me how to improve customer journey through a good layout. Well, the simple answer there is, when you walk into a store in the Northern Hemisphere, and this might be different for you, oddly, I've noticed it seems to be hemisphere related. So if you're in the Northern Hemisphere where the toilet goes one way, it seems that we go into a store and go into the right. That's what we want to do naturally into a store. In the lower hemisphere, as in Australia, New Zealand, it seemed to be the other way. So check yourself when you walk into a store and you see people. But here's the thing. When I walk into a store in the Northern Hemisphere, if you put the counter right there on the right, as people are leaving and checking out, they're going to be crossing as people are trying to come in. And so that's the first thing I would say, is look at your layout, because if you have that And if you're a coffee house, it's the same idea. You don't want people to be trying to dodge others when it's busy, and especially after a pandemic. So I hope that helps. Good morning, Richard. Good morning, Doug. Glad you're here. Stacy is here. Awesome. Saratoga Springs, fabulous. Whitney, glad you're here today. And Shelly, happy birthday. So that's really kind of my big thing I wanted to go on. That inflation is definitely up. We are certainly hearing that. And I think so many people love to say still, oh, well, it's somebody's fault I can't get it. Remember, the customer is in there with hope. They want to buy something. If they didn't, they wouldn't have come in. So be careful of the language that you use, like, oh, that's all we have, or that's the only one we've got, or I can't get any more, or something, or, we used to have that, but just be careful you're not bringing a Debbie Downer into the sale, because if you don't have that, you have something else, and you have something else they can buy, right? So be careful that your own what you like to sell, if that's out, that you're not putting that into the sale, which ultimately doesn't make you money. All I care about is ultimately here's the secret to everything I teach. If somebody comes in with a need, do you have glasses? We do. And you hear that need, you don't jump in and start pitching me on glasses. That's the secret to all of it. Because if you just pause and connect with them first, you find out you have something in common, and people who we know are easier to sell to. It's that simple. And because selling is nothing more than a transference feeling, because I feel good about this product, I can share that with you. But if you jump right in and you start telling me why this is so good, and it's got bionic lenses, and it's $800 and whatever it's going to be, chances are you're not going to make the big sale if you just took a step back and said, well, why do you need new sunglasses? Oh, I'm going to go on a trip, and I'm going to be this and this. And now you got something in common when you went on a trip and what the right sunglasses were. And you understand how important it is to them, instead of, do you have model 85621? No, we don't. We can't get any more, right? All they want to do is, I want to cover my eyes and I want to go get the hell out of here and have fun. That's that simple. Just like I'm waiting for the sun to come out. It's a little cold out here, Chelly. Chelly is in our neighborhood, so she knows what I'm talking about. Joanna says, does the shop color make a difference? Our art gallery needs a refresh for 2022. Well, thank you, from North Wales. Well, Johanna, I think if you are definitely an art gallery, that's interesting. But why does it have to be one color? It's easy to say it should be a neutral, but I shop when I visit places, and I'm always taken aback. Some people just want to make the whole gallery white, and that kind of has an antiseptic feel. But I've been in galleries in Palm Desert and in Albuquerque where they are earth toned and they're beautiful, or a little off white. But why couldn't some of the walls be different? And why couldn't you change them throughout the year too? So just try it and see what the energy is around it. That's my thing, that a lot of times art is presented in such an antiseptic way, like stay away, that we don't feel comfortable and we move past it quickly. So that's what I would suggest. If that works for you, let me know. That's the important thing. By the way, if you like what I have to say, give me some love. I don't see many hearts up there. I don't see many thumbs. Come on. I'm not shivering. I'm still here with you. Maybe a little shivering. All right. David, our clients bring in objects saying, this is important to me. Help me make it preventable. We train our staff to honor this. They seem to appreciate it. Help me make it preventable. Is that the right word? Our clients bring in, you mean help me make it, like, keep it in a nice way. I like that. And then I would go the next level and try to find out why it means so much to them, right? So what's the meaning of the drawing, or where did you get it, or anything that becomes you're a partner in the journey. Because here's the thing. Every purchase has two stories. There's a purchase about what it does, right? So knowing that these, bionic glasses can see through metal and keep kryptonite away, that's one story. And a lot of people buck ourselves up with all that information because we need all the product knowledge. But there's another story too, which is, why the hell did they walk into your store today? Okay, be curious about why is it? Because that's the bigger story. If you're just curious, nobody just walks into a hardware store. I need some nails. Oh, nails are over here. There's a story under there. They're building something. Aren't you just curious? Because life is really so much better if you're just curious. And if you're not having a great day and you make somebody else's day, I can guarantee you the world gets to be a better place. But it's those two stories. If you're really cognizant on those stories, then I think life gets easier. And by the way, that's one of our big trains going by. I don't know how well that picks up on my laptop here, but and by the way, this in the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be doing more about Sales Rex. We have another class that's going to be joining us, another group of entrepreneurs, while we're literally training tens of thousands of people around the world, some of the best brands. You won't know it because my system is supposed to be transparent. When it's done well, people just say how nice people are. And the deadline will be to sign up by April 28th. You can go to salesrx.com to find more about that. But let's face it, the buying frenzy is over. You know, there's not many more stimulus checks going to come in with disposable income. People are having to earn it and they're having to spend it. And when they go out to your stores, they are more inclined than ever to want more than they first walk in. But they're also traveling. They're buying new things other places as well. So you're going to have to get a higher conversion rate, and you're going to have to add on like never before, because quite simply, there's only so many dollars to go around as inflation is continuing for a variety of reasons. It's not going to get easier. And this is the perfect time to get your crew, who you've been through all the challenges the last 2 years, a new crew coming in, to get them up to a space where you have a foundation of this is how we engage our customers, instead of I see a need, I want you to pounce on it, and I want you to get that sale. I worked for people like that. You know what? It's not gratifying, and more importantly, people leave because it's just not fun. You know. Again, presentable. Thank you, David. Make my artwork preventable. Like, what does that mean? Give me some more thumbs up. Give me some love. Let me know that you're getting something out of this. You know, what's one question you have? We are getting towards the end. And so there you go. Sherry, as inflation rises, what I have seen here in Dayton, that people want to support local with more of their money. I agree with you. It's our job to build the relationships that encourage them to return and share their experience while at our store. Absolutely. You know, an awful lot of downtown associations had a really tough time the last couple of years. And people ask me all the time, you know, what can we do in our downtown? And it's like, you have to get people to share a common view that we are better together than we are separately, and getting everybody to understand that you can say shop local all you want and put those signs in your windows, which I absolutely abhor. Like, if you see it here, buy it here. Because it still misses the point that you're the local community, which means you should have a beat on what works well in your community better than anybody else. So don't ever forget that. That's your unique power, that you know that and you can see it. For example, if I was a hardware store right now in upstate New York where I am, I would be doing 5 things about how to get the garden ready for spring, or 5 easy ways to get your gutter ready for summer rains, or something like that, because it's really focused on this. And you know that this is what your customers are worried about. That's the thing. It's if I model anything to you, it's always be talking about what your customers are talking about to their friends and their associates. And when you're that, then you've got a tribe behind you that gives a damn, which is why I get people that, you know, 4,000 or 5,000 people view my posts and comment to each other because they're engaged. If they're not engaged, it means you really aren't talking to them. You're talking about you, and that's not as fun. All right. So there you go. David, I was supposed to say presentable. Damn autocorrect. Yeah, autocorrect. You should see my Siri. I do everything by Siri, and every now and then one of my colleagues here at Sales RX will send back, did you really mean to say that? As I look back, it's like, that's unintelligible. It's like, no, I didn't. So there you go. All right. So, hey, Esquel, glad you're here from Buenos Aires. We work on building returners, not visitors. I love that. That's great. That's great. So we are community. That's exactly it. Well, I have taken up about 15 minutes of your Easter Sunday. I hope you have a great time. Again, it's a season of hope. It's a time of looking ahead. And if you want help with that, well, that's certainly what I do. You can go to salesrx.com. But just remember, we're about as happy as we make our minds up to be. And if you're waiting for somebody else to make your day, I got news for you. Not going to happen. Make their day, then they're going to make your day. I'm Bob Phibbs, the Retail Doc. Thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you next time.